Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni Ajishafe. Time to take a look at the world of sports. A lot of activities that happen. Well, a big one for Chelsea and also Napoli. So painful for Napoli, the fourth hat, but it never happened. More of that will be coming on the show, but quickly we start from the home scene as we quickly look at the goals, rather the results of the MPFL La Liga under 15 promises actually taking place over there in Ikene, Ogun State. Shooting Stars defeated Gombe United 2-0 there, where they were able to win. Kotso Basib and also Sunny scoring for Shooting Stars under 15 in the 56th and also in the 54th minute. Lobby Stars lost against Bayelsa United. Joshua and David making 2 goals for Bayelsa United under 15, while Kenneth actually put one back for Lobby Stars. We have Sunshine Stars 1, Doma United 0. Kudus scoring for Sunshine Stars under 15 in the 62nd minute there. While in Group C, you have Eyimba. They walloped Jakarta 4-1 in that encounter. Well, Umo Ezekaya was able to put one back for Jakarta FC, while Eyimba had 4 goals scored by Gabriel, who actually had a hat-trick. And you have Major scoring, making it goal number 4 for Eyimba, making it 4-1 there. Just to look at the MPFL La Liga under 15 promises taking place over there at Raymond Star Stadium in Ikene. A good one. Well, alongside me in the studio, I have Emmanuel Fashimi. Good to have Fashimi.
Thanks for having me. Good one for the MPFL La Liga under 15 tournament, but this same tournament happened last season. I didn't really see some of the players that were picked. I've not really heard much about them, but I believe this time around it's going to be a different ball game. But I could still remember one of the players that at least I followed up, found his way to, I think, La Liga Secunda B, but after maybe he went for trials. After that, I never know what happened. Maybe he succeeded or not, but overall, it's good that we're having this partnership with the La Liga team. Let's not forget, it was Rivers United that started this whole journey of partnership. Rivers United had a partnership with Real Madrid, where they groom young stars, children, and export them to Spain. The same thing is what is happening in the La Liga MPFL under 15, which is an avenue to harness young talent and see how we can bring down their style of development in football down to Nigeria. And that is the essence of this particular tournament. And I want every other sporting stakeholder, Nigerians in the society, those football lovers, and those who have our game, our football at heart, how for us to grow. It will be good for them to actually come in and don't leave this league for one person. They actually need other sponsors, not just sponsors alone. They also need they need the media attention. They need exposure. And for the players that will be selected, that will be discovered, they should not allow it to just end here after one season and you will never hear anything about them. It's a way of also telling our clubs to have all these cadet teams, the age grade teams. We see that in Europe, even the UEFA Champions League that is going on, you see the Youth Champions League. So the bigger boys plays, the youth team also plays there. So if we have something like this, I think it's a good development. It's going to help us to actually harness those talents that we've not seen raw one. We can see them here.
A lot of talents there are playing this competition. Shooting Stars 2 against Gombe United. Well, good one for the likes of Eyimba and also Shooting Stars there. Well, to let you know that this event will continue over there in Kenya, and we'll continue to give you much update concerning this particular competition taking place over there in Ogun State. Right now, let's talk about the women football NWFL. Games will be on tonight. Well, rather today in the evening by Nigeria time. That's 4 p.m. across Nigeria, where the ladies will be fighting hard to see who will be staying fully in the NWF for this season. Let's look at those fixtures that will be coming up this evening in Group A. Well, we have Bayelsa Queens against Nigeria Tels. Nigeria Tels, they fought last week, but they couldn't qualify for the Super 6. A very painful one for them after they got a penalty and it was actually blown away. Bayelsa Queens will be hosting them today, and you have Delta Queens versus Rivers Angels, a big match there. Heartland Queens versus Royal Queens. Now, Emmanuel, you look at this game, Delta versus Rivers. This is a big South-South derby.
Yeah, it's a big South-South derby because both of them are champions for Delta Queens and Rivers Angels. These are the two powerhouses when it comes to women's football in Nigeria, and that particular encounter is all about supremacy. Who tops the table, who stands, because Delta Queens, I think they have been brilliant this season.
They are topping their group,
they are topping the table, and they want to show that supremacy to Rivers Angel that, okay, I think they are one of the side that have not lost a game in NWFL this season. So they want that that record to continue to the end of this because it's an average league. They'll have to go and play the Super 6, where we'll now have the overall champions. But it's a big one, and overall, quickly for Nigeria Writers, it's so painful that they couldn't qualify for the Super 6 for the second season running. But they didn't do bad. No matter how we look at it, they are in a better position on the table. But just that they blew their chances away here last week, where they actually played at home and they couldn't get that draw. They got the penalty, they got the chance to redeem themselves, but they lost it. All they just need to do is to prepare well again for next season.
Well, they just have to prepare for Nancy right now. They need to meet up with those games. Now we're looking at the Group A fixtures there. Match day 14 in the NWFL. Let's look at the Group B fixtures that will also be coming up today. Nasarawa Amazons, Adamawa Queens, a big one there. Northern Derby. You have Abia Angels versus Edo Queens, and FC Robo Queens of Lagos versus Quenfluence Queens of Kogi. Another big one here. You have Nasarawa Amazons versus Adamawa Queens. Like I call it Northern Derby.
For Nasarawa Amazons, they are a bit shaky this season, but since it's a Northern Derby between Nasarawa and Adamawa Queens, they know themselves very well. And if you look at it for Adamawa Queens, I think this season, unlike what we saw with Adamawa Queens last season, they were actually not too good last season. But this season, I think they are brilliant. They've done themselves well by trying to stay up in the league. So let's see what happens between them. And for the other games in that group, well, it's looking good for Edo Queens, because Edo Queens is actually topping the Group B. It's actually topping that group. So if we have, as it stands right now, I think there's whatever happens to Edo Queens in that group, they already have their one leg already in this.
Now it seems for this season, the battle of the Super 6 right now, because you have Edo Queens, you have Delta Queens, you have Rivers Angels, and all of them fighting to see who will win this Super 6. I still remember the coach of Delta Queens, Coach Blankson, saying, well, they are prepared to make sure they win, that their target is the Super 6.
Sincerely speaking, with their level of play this season, I think I want to agree with the coach by saying that, because if you look at the way they play like a team that means business. They also want to replicate what Bayelsa Queens did, because when they won the Super 6, they actually represented Nigeria in the continent, and where they got to the bronze, I think they to the bronze match, and which they actually did well for Nigeria. But if you look at Delta Queens, I think Delta Queens want to surpass that level where Bayelsa Queens got to in the continent. But their first main target is win the Super 6. Then when you win the Super 6, you can set your eyes at the continent. But now I believe when it gets to the Super 6, because it's going to be a different ball game, you have to play what is called a round robin game. So if you lose one match, then you should.
I remember that the last time Rivers Angels were the first team to go there to represent Nigeria, they didn't do well at all.
At all.
Then Bayelsa Queens. Now we're just looking at the third one now. Hopefully, a Nigerian team can actually get better. In fact, maybe this time around win it.
That is what everybody was expecting Rivers Angels to actually do, because when it comes to women's football,
I don't think they lost that touch. It's that they are not as strong or prolific as they used to be.
Yes. When it comes to women football in Africa, whether national or club football for women, Nigeria is a force to be reckoned with. But Rivers Angels, when they didn't actually show much hunger, commitment, and whatever, and the manner in which they lost their first two games was not really okay. But for Bayelsa Queens, they hit the ground running. They got there. Their first game, they lost it. But second, they won their second game, third game, and then they qualified to the knockout stages, en route to the semi-final, and then the third place match. So the only country I can say we can, as in the only country that can match us when it comes to women football right now is South Africa, Morocco, who has actually upped their game. But if you come down to the club side, it's only South African club that can really say, okay, they can hold their own against Nigerian club side when it comes to women's football. But overall, let's see whoever goes there this season, let's see if we can actually win it this time around.
Well, it's getting so tough right now when it comes to women football in Africa. The likes of Morocco, South Africa really taking over from Nigeria. Even Zambia too are now one of the forces to be reckoned with when it comes to women football. We'll be unveiling matches slated for tonight, or rather evening, across Nigeria, where the ladies will be fighting hard to see who stays on. Although we already know that some clubs right now, they've done the business of qualifying for the Super 6, but at least they need to wrap up the entire Bridge League before the Super 6 will be coming up. Well, good one there. Just looking at those fixtures as we move straight to the big one. Well, over there in Europe, looking at the matches that are played yesterday in the UEFA Champions League. Now, as we talk about the Champions League, well, games were on, and it was a tough one for the likes of Chelsea and also Napoli. We're talking about UEFA Champions League right now. Let's talk about Osimhen's goal. Osimhen's goal not enough as AC Milan dumped Napoli out of UCL, UEFA Champions League. Well, a tough one there. He fought hard, he ran around, he really did everything he could, but in fact, the goal he scored was an extra effort. Not every player will score that goal, but yet they couldn't get it right.
Well, if I'm the coach of Napoli, then I have to call this guy, Kvaratskhelia, sit him down, and then tell him next time is a team sport, not individual sports. If you want to sell yourself, not when you have something at stake. Everything went well from the back line to the midfield, but up front, only Kvaratskhelia Chuwali did not do Napoli very well. Why did I say that? They had, even in the first leg, they played better than AC Milan in the first leg. They had chances. Almost, I took a close watch, about 4 good chances in the first leg for Kvaratskhelia alone. He missed all those 4 chance goal begging. In the first leg, he missed a penalty. Yesterday again, instead of him to play a team, as in play for your team, don't play individual football. He started playing individual kind of play. Osimhen was coming back because Osimhen gave boosts. I said it here that if Osimhen was in the side in the first leg, it would have made a difference. And last night, we saw that difference that Osimhen brought into the team.
Now, from the way it is, it seems, you know, before this particular game, even when Osimhen was still playing, rather, before the injury, before they went on injury, I remember that a lot of Nigerians or a lot of football pundits are actually thinking maybe it's Kvaratskhelia that actually helping him to make those goals. But it's obvious now that Osimhen seems to be the one
making the goals for him.
You understand? Because we've seen how he performed yesterday and even the first 2 legs where he had every chance to turn this around for Napoli. But he never did.
He never did that. Okay, let's not even talk about the first leg. Last night, what were you supposed to do? You know your team was 1 goal down. Now, you were supposed to play for the team, not playing for yourself. He was playing for himself. He would, okay, it was when AC Milan scored that goal, and time, as it was already 70-something minutes or 80-something minutes, that he started bringing the balls into the box for Osimhen to suffer and just do a miracle, and eventually Osimhen actually did the miracle and got that equalizer. And when they got the spot kick, I was not even expecting him to actually play the spot kick. I was expecting Osimhen or their captain to actually come and take the spot kick, but I was surprised he went for the ball, took the ball, and then at the end of the day, you never even, in space of a week, you missed 2 good chances for your team to actually qualify to
I
the
just
next
hope
round.
I won't give you okay to beat Kvaratskhelia.
If I see him, I will actually flog him.
Anyway, let's swap to Real Madrid's story. Well, Real Madrid also, they did well defeating Chelsea in that game 2-0, making it 4 goals aggregate-wise. We're looking at that story right now. UCL, Real Madrid beat Chelsea, advanced to semi-finals. Congrats to the Los Merengues. In this game, they show class.
They actually show class. When it comes to Champions League, if you call Champions League, you call Real Madrid. That is how it is. Mr. Champions League, that is who they are. They understand. When I told somebody some times ago, and we actually discussed within ourselves, I said, if you don't want Real Madrid to win the Champions League, what do you need to do? Make sure they don't qualify from the group stage. And if they qualify, second round, knock them out, whichever team they are playing. But if Real Madrid gets to the quarter-final and you allow them to see the semi-final, you are sure that they will get to the final. And Chelsea, Real Madrid, where it's not new, last 2 seasons where Chelsea won the Champions League, they actually defeated Real Madrid. But last season, Real Madrid came back and revenged that defeat and they won the Champions League. This season again, over 2 legs, they've beaten Chelsea. We can say head-to-head, all records, Chelsea is ahead. But what matters in space of 2 seasons right now, Real Madrid has closed up that gap in stats. And in the 2 games, 4 goals aggregate for Real Madrid. They were just looking good for Chelsea on the night. 2 simple goals, Rodrigo showing class, and that was what Kvaratskhelia was supposed to do. Make this goal easy for Osimhen to score for you, and he did do that. Look at the second goal.
Does somebody say fine boy Rodrigo actually did well?
Actually, fine boy Rodrigo did well.
Oh,
he scored against Chelsea last season. He has repeated the same feat this season again, scoring both goals in both legs. So Real Madrid, if I may say, where football things can happen, I'm seeing them in the final.
Well, we've been talking concerning UEFA Champions League matches there. Chelsea versus Real Madrid ending 4-0 on aggregate. And you have Napoli against AC Milan ending 2-1. They are favoring the Rossoneri's as we're able to win that particular game. Well, right now, we're just going on a short break. By the time we'll come back, we'll talk about beach soccer.
Come on! Come on.
I know it is, I'm ready to be cool, baby. Inside the light, now inside the car, don't move my head.
Hello! Are you there? Get on up!
Left my front, they come on, they go use me best run. Make what the mother is staying like that.
Go, Latimo!
Money no they bring up in I wanna be no be before to you now I'm about to be I if I cheat on you
To the big one!
no be before to you now I'm about to be I if I cheat on you I'm sorry.
Good to have you join us. We'll be talking about beach soccer there. Right now, we'll be looking at, well, that particular clip you just saw there has to do with Nigerian beach soccer coming up. The league is starting over there in Kebbi State. And I have in the studio, Busayo Olowokere will be joining us to talk about beach soccer. Busayo, good to have you on the show.
It's good to be back here again on Sport 360 on Trust TV. And like you just said, the Beach Soccer League, courtesy of the Nigerian Beach Soccer Association, is starting this weekend in KB. All roads lead to KB. I should be on my way tomorrow, God's willing, for the first phase. You know, it's always first, second, third, fourth. The fourth is the final phase where the teams, that the best 4 teams will have qualified to the last round. So tomorrow, roads leads to KB. This time around, we are seeing different teams. from those teams that played. We are seeing some new teams coming on board, and you know that the defending champion who took over from KB Fisher as the last 2 seasons champions, Kada Beach Soccer Club, are saying they want to win it again. They want to show the fact that they want to win it the second time, and they have the players. But this season we are seeing beach soccer is now a vista for development of youth in Nigeria. Just about 2 weeks ago, we had the Akwa Ibom beach soccer inaugurated, and yesterday in Abia State they've also inaugurated their own beach soccer players. So their own beach soccer team, and also the chairman will be headed by ex-international, talking about Ogbonaya Okemiri is the chairman of that Abia State Beach Soccer Association. And then you've seen Niger coming up, you've seen Katsina coming up, Lagos are coming with different teams now, and even a team in KB are saying no, we should not be seeing KB alone. We should also have a local team in KB. If Lagos can have 3, why not other teams? So now they've done the KB Beach Soccer Association for a long time. They are KB Beach Soccer League, and maybe the champion or 2 of them are also joining KB. So this time around, it's 10 teams that will be going into the race to determine who will get to the Super 4 from the first phase. Probably after this phase, we are looking to go into Kaduna or Akwa Ibom for the second phase. Then all roads probably should be going to Lagos.
Now, from all this you have said, how many teams are participating in the first phase?
10 teams.
10
teams. 2 from KB. Akwa Ibom is joining. They just started and they said we want to go and have a feel of it, and they are going to this time around. We have Kada, the defending champion, with the likes of Jose Franks, Emmanuel Tanko, who has scored more goals in the Beach Soccer League for the Nigeria Beach Soccer League. He's the one of the great players to watch out for. You want to see Emeka Ogbonna, the man we call the Ronaldo of the Beach Soccer League. He was voted in the top 100 by the World FIFA football governing body, talking about FIFA. So he's saying, well, I've done much, but maybe he wants to play one more season for the KB Fishers, because he has always been saying, now he should be seen as an ex-international who has done well for the game. So I think what we've done is to make sure that this season is starting from KB. The Ramadan is almost coming here, and when you see the fans that come out to the Feeling Sukwa right there, you could see on the screen, the entertainment part is there. This the local wrestlers, and you will see Dambe, you will see the Zauris.
I like this kind of sports. You have to push. You hold awesome. One leg, you push the other,
and you have to run. Immediately you push the last person, you have to run to the end of the post. The winner goes up.
This will come up before the big soccer.
You know,
right?
It's coming after the game.
Okay.
It's just to make sure that the fans that have come will also entertain themselves with what all that programs. There's songs, there's food, there's entertainment, there's guys who comes around to use their knife on themselves. They want to fight. Damn,
just to push,
just to get the entertainment, just to the traditional sport around. And you know, it's just a time for everybody to back in their own location to celebrate the Ramadan. And so for them, it's a good one that they said we want to start from here. They are the champions, the defending champion. They lost it to Kada Stars. This was the game where Kada Stars defeated the champions. I was in this game and I was wondering what was going on to the host team, but they lost it out in front of their fans. And this time around, they've told the governor, talking about Bagudu, that we want to start on a high note. We want to correct the wrongs that Kada came to KB to take it, because they went to Kaduna in the first season and picked it in Kaduna, and Kada came back here to take it away. But this season, they are saying they want to start strong.
We've been talking about big soccer, Nigeria Big Soccer League, starting over there in Kebbi State, the first phase. And Busao Local has been doing justice. So to that particular focus right now, we are focusing on the big soccer. You've mentioned the teams that are participating, 10 teams, and all that, and all the preparation put in place. But when it comes to big soccer in Nigeria, I think a lot of people are beginning to follow that particular sport. But looking at it, when is it going to turn to a federation?
It's an association already, and it's under the Nigerian Football Federation. Most people have been mistaking it to, where's our beach soccer team? Where's the national team? And just last year, there was a time CAF had already grouped Nigeria to the, talking about the African Nations Cup in Mozambique. All of a sudden, towards the tail end of the board, last board, we just saw the name of the Super Sand Eagles removed again from the Nations Cup. So the role of the Nigerian Beach Soccer Association is to create the league, to discover the players. It is now left for the federation to get the Super Sand Eagles back. And I know that maybe the goodwill of the president, the president talking about Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusau. So we'll look towards making sure that the beach soccer team is back, because I know from a reliable source that probably he would want to see the game. And I've said to my coordinator, the president of the national coordinator of the league, talking about Alhaji Mahmoud Adeja, I've told him it's going to give us a good face. When we started the league in 2021, Musa Amaju Mevin Pinnick was at the Lagos center, because he started from Lagos. Him and the then vice president, talking about Barrister Sheikh, they were in Lagos. So this time around that we are starting in a zone where it's close to Zamfara and Sokoto. Either we have the president or we also have the general secretary. It's just about 1 hour, 30 minutes drive to KB. They can be part of it, and with them, it shows that the game is back with the NFF. We've
been talking concerning big soccer. Really, we'll be glad to have the Super Saiyan Eagles back, and also where NFL will be giving them that chance to be seen with their talent. Well, good one to have you, Busayo Olowokere, talking about big soccer over there in Kebbi. It's a pleasure. And also Emmanuel Fashimi, thanks for joining on the show. Adeniyi Ajishafe, sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.